Nobody can hear me. Oh, nobody can hear me. So now I'm wondering if you can hear me. I think that might be a little bit better. I'm gonna raise this up to that, and then we'll see. There's a hum. Oh. So let's see if the audio's coming back. That was on the boom pole microphone. So let's see if the audio's coming back. That was on the boom pole. My nigga, I could really just leave this alone. Just turn that on. Alright, I'm trying to be fancy. And now I'm getting noise in the. Oh, it might be. I could really just leave this alone. Or it might be the XLR cable. Alright, I'm trying to be fancy. And now I'm getting noise in the. Oh, it might be. I could really just leave this alone. Or it might be the XLR cable. Alright, I'm trying to be fancy. And now I'm getting noise in the. Oh, it might be. I need somebody listens to this shit. Alright, how about now? How about now? Can you hear me? Alright, how about now? Is that better? That sounds a lot better to me. How about now? Can you hear me? Alright, how about now? that better? That sounds a lot better to me. All right, cool. Boom. We're gonna keep that one, and I could keep working on and refining this and getting lost in this, but it's working. I got that view, I got the editing view. So let me get back to actually doing what I was supposed to be doing, which is editing this. Editing this piece. Let me get some tunes. I do need some music though. Not even gonna lie to you. I don't know what I did with this shit. Oh, here it goes. Somebody left this at the studio a long time ago. Thank you for your donation. Oh, I forgot that I'm live. Ah. All right. I forgot that I'm live, my brother. All right, boom.
My name is Frank Cornier. I'm the president and CEO of Tampa Bay Neighborhood Housing Services. Today we're at standing in front of 1001.
All right, right now I'm just editing. All right, right now I'm looking at Frank's interview, Frank's speaking parts. His stand-up interview. We gotta sort through it.
You can see all the interior rooms have been framed,
trying to pull out
the trusses have been set, and the roof underlayment has been installed.
I'm really just trying to pull out the best parts of his section and seeing where it falls within the outline session. There's a couple different directions that I can go with this. The theme of NeighborWorks and the mission of the Northwest, the NeighborWorks Florida Collaborative, is to help people prepare for home ownership. It's to make sure that the inventory of homes are there in a way that people can afford it. And then it's to continue to grow the communities, invest in the communities, and just keep the communities vibrant. All right. So those are the 3 points, and we kind of wanted to make sure that we used that as a framework. Sometimes I just ran in and just started asking questions. Other times I actually stayed on script, and I should have probably stayed on script to make this editing a little bit better, but I do think that I got a lot of amazing stories that even beyond this video, these organizations can use to continue for life, promoting what they do and capturing what they're doing and telling that story. So let me go back. All right, let me go back. Let me lock back in, right? Because I was doing all of that and I wasn't even locked in for real. I need to have this iPad If I could just, what's the beauty of AI, right? If I had AI installed into this and all of this was connected and all I had to do is, hey, I want this camera to be showing comments on Ecamm Live. That right there, that, ladies and gentlemen, right there is why I would want to use AI. Because I can hire somebody to come in and charge me a day rate to come fix that. All right. But let's come back here. All right. So right now I'm figuring out how I'm going to edit this video. I'm on Frank's interview section. So I'm trying to pull out the best parts. I'm on Frank's interview section, so I'm trying to pull out the best parts of that. Excuse me. All right. Prepare, build, grow. Here's the American dream. Here's how we collaborate to get there. And here's what an investment looks like to scale that and continue to do all of these different projects. Prepare, build, grow communities, and prepare people for home ownership, build units that they can move into, and continue to grow the communities with engaging activities and other things. And then there's 12 organizations. So let's jump back into editing. I'm gonna pull up the outline, pretty much the framework of what we gotta get done. All right. And I sit back and I think I'm looking at ADD as like a hindrance, right? ADD is not a hindrance. It is a superpower that just needs to be refined. My brain bounces from one thing to the next. And if I could sit here and I could document it while I'm working, hopefully this allows me to stay focused by editing this one thing and just having a single screen. It's better that I don't. And then having the live stream in the background, right? And then when I have to think about it, boom, I can go back to Ecamm. I could switch the camera. I could talk to the camera. I could look at the comments, right? Or I could have a pad that's ready to go and that's good to go, and I could be looking at the comments and it's right here. And I got my laptop over here. That's for me to do what I need to do. On my end, I got an extra screen over there if I need some more real estate to continue to be working. But I do have my live stream right here, my front and direct camera. Sorry, it's not front and direct camera. That's the camera right there. So you see this stand and all of that. You see the iPad right here, and you see that. That's the camera that I should be looking at, right? So if I go here, I should be looking at that camera, and that should be good to go. I need a little bit more light skin light, but what I'm planning on doing is, if you look at this whole thing, right? If you look at this corner over here, I need to put some drywall over there. I'm gonna box this in with the AC just so that that has like a little ledge to be able to hide the AC completely, only with the fence. And I'm gonna drywall all the way around, all the way around, all the way around to behind this. Once I set it up, I'm gonna put a globe light right here that softly lights the entire area. So if I could do that, I can put a globe light right there and softly lights the entire area. I can also run a LED strip go right around. So if I put some crown molding up or something like that, I can run an LED strip right around, right? I could give access to, I could give, once I'm planning it out, I want to be able to plan out, all right, I'm going to have a couple outlets here, a couple outlets here. This light switch is going to be something right here in the middle, and that'll just be the globe light. I'm gonna just set that up as a solid light that is just always on. If I want to dim it, I gotta go up there and dim that bit down. But hey, I'm gonna just practice rambling, right? Because all I gotta do is just practice rambling. So once I'm on, I'm just gonna keep practicing rambling, right? So I'm sitting here talking to the camera. Now I just need to be better off with my rambling. So at the moment, I'm standing up in the middle of my, if you haven't seen that, I'm standing up in the middle of my studio, right? Really here. This could be AI or it couldn't be AI, but I can set up all my different sets, right? You can pull up, all right, you got the camera right there, you got an extra camera over here. I got a third camera that I could technically set up, that I could connect to this. I don't know how much it would, right? Because I got my keyboard's plugged in because that dies quickly. I probably need to get a real Apple keyboard and a real Apple mouse. I need a lot of stuff, but I'm 34 minutes in. Frank with Tampa Bay. Bro, I was sorry. I've been thinking about so many different things. Hold on. Because I need Jamie's part. All right. So I need to open up another project is what I need to do. I need to open up the finished project. Sorry. Open up recent. All right. Tampa Bay. This is the NeighborWorks Florida Collaborative mini doc. All right. This is where we at with it.
The story of the Florida Collaborative and what we're able to accomplish is remarkable, and people need to know about it.
Between that and this next part, I want to have some different comments about either who people are or what they're doing. Just some quick snippets.
Innovate. Florida's got the recipe right now. Amazing organization.
Oh, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Show Adobe Premiere, current application. Huh. Adobe Premiere. Okay. All right.
Florida's got the recipe right now. Amazing organizations with amazing leaders, innovative products, ways of thinking, and amazing partnerships that make that work happen.
All right, so after she
The
says,
story of the Florida Collaborative and what we're able to accomplish is remarkable, and people need to know about it. And all over the state, serving urban, suburban, and rural, all coming together under one shared purpose, achieving that American dream. The story of the Florida Collaborative.
all right,
Next thing to happen is all of the rough mechanicals to happen, the rough electrical. In here, you can see all the interior rooms have been framed, the trusses have been set, and the roof underlayment has been installed. Next thing to happen is all of the rough mechanicals to happen, the rough electrical wiring, all of the HVAC, running of all of the
Oh, this is hard. Nah, I don't want that whole thing full like that. I do want it bigger, but I want that like I still want it a little subscreen. All right, boom. 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 All right, hold on. Let me get back to. Hey, yo, what up? It's Kevin Lewis with KVL Media. The time is now 3:30 minutes and 39 minutes and 5 seconds. Hey, yo, what up? It's Kevin Lewis with KVL Media. The time is now 39 minutes and 5 seconds. And I am here, finally getting started with another episode of I Don't Know, right? But I wanted to come back on here and start and reset the room so that I can set it up to be clipped. We'll talk about clips a little bit later, but what I'm doing right now is I'm sorting through this list of interviews. I got to rock with these fine people. I got my secondary computer here. Hold on, let me. Oh, treadmill. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. All right, so I'm testing out a new live. Yo, hey, yo, what up? All right, so I'm testing out a new live stream setup, and I'm trying to figure out all the buttons and make sure that all of the things are going correctly without forgetting what the original goal was. Bruh, I'm supposed to be editing this because I need to have this edit knocked out, the first version by Monday. So right now I'm trying to piece together the storyline of this this project. I'm waiting on, no, I'm not waiting on anything. What I did is I outlined the narrative part of what NeighborWorks is and why this video exists. But without getting too deep into that, because I think everybody that's going to be watching this pretty much knows what NeighborWorks is. This is just proof, right? Proof that they can say that they do those three things, which is prepare individuals and families for home ownership, is they increase the revenue. They increase the inventory of affordable homes in a variety of cities across the state of Florida, and they help grow communities by doing engagement activities and giving back to the community and all kind of stuff. So the beauty of what we're doing right now is that I'm breaking down the stories live, and I'm trying to become a better orator by actually just talking out live. And the beauty of this is that people can pop in here and there and then see what this is, and they could dip. And if nobody's really talking to me, then I'm just talking into this is really just practice. Practice? Yeah. So let me just go back and just practice rambling, because I am a true introvert, and I don't be talking like that for real. Let me see something here. Okay. All right, so if I go here, here, 3, I need a 4th thing to give you, right? I don't know. All right, so I'm talking about the dream, the American dream, collaborating, and the investment. Any clips about how they're going to either prepare, build, or grow. All right. So there's a couple of high-level topics, and I want to approach them from 3 different aspects, and I got to remember what aspects those were. Give me a second. So it started with, I interviewed Jamie last, and she has the most intimate knowledge of what all of these 12 organizations do, where they're located, who the people are that are invested, and what they're looking to do and what the opportunities are. She was able to look at all of the different organizations and then from a holistic, comprehensive, eagle-eye view, look down at what these organizations could be doing best, right? Jamie Lee Bradshaw, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going back to this current edit because I need to figure out. So there's 3 topics, right? But there's 3 more that I have to figure out. There's prepare, build, and grow these communities. From what she said in this video, it's about the American dream. It's about collaboration, and then it's about the return on the investment of what we're looking to do. But what I also need to do is right? But what I also need to do, right, is I need to be able to tell the story of these 12 different organizations. Well, I got a chance to interview 10. So I got to tell the story of these 10 organizations. So as they come in and talk about what they're doing or why they're doing it, I need to listen to their interviews and their stories to see how it fits into the dream collab and investment, and see how it fits into the prepare, build, and grow. So let's do it, man. I hate venting, but maybe it helps somebody.
The story of the Florida Collaborative and what we're able to accomplish is remarkable, and people need to know about it.
All right, so I gotta figure out a better way to do that, whether that's another keyboard. I do have this loop deck. So I gotta figure out if the loop deck works with Ecamm. So I gotta figure out whether or not the loop deck works with Ecamm, because that would be a really good device to have on this. I'm gonna turn this into like a whole command center. You know what I'm saying? Like, laptop is good where that's at. I need stuff, you know? I need to make sure that all my stuff is right where it needs to be, and anything that doesn't need to be there is not there. You know what I'm saying? Like this. American Express is trying to give me some money. It shouldn't be on my immediate desk because I don't need it right now. Soon. not right now. I need to be a good steward of my investments. All right.
Able to accomplish
All right, boom. What are we doing, bro? What are you doing, Kev?
suburban and
All right.
the story of the Florida Collaborative and what we're able to accomplish is remarkable, and people need to know about it. You've got 12 different organizations all over the state serving urban, suburban, and rural, all coming together under one shared purpose, achieving that American dream. We all do it differently, yet we're all committed. Oh, amazing organizations with amazing leaders, innovative products. America has been an
Having NeighborWorks
leveraged every need.
All right. Let me just keep doing what I'm doing.
Ductwork in here, and then all of the plumbing lines that have to be run.
So, Frank, tell me more about the organization.
Yeah, sure.
Give me a second. This way. Get some light.
Lighting, yeah.
I should have just trusted my FX3. It looks good. At nighttime, it looks good.
2, 3,
Nah,
1, 2,
do the
1,
same thing
2.
with audio and underexpose it. Whatever.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So, tell me about your organization outside of this new project that you're working on.
Okay.
What else you guys working on?
Oh, okay. Well, we have a robust pipeline of real estate development projects that we're working on. We have a 24-unit townhome project that we're working on in Clearwater, and just completed all of the permitting phase. We are also working on in Clearwater, a unit townhome project that we're working on in Clearwater, and have a 24-unit townhome. We have a robust pipeline of real estate development projects that we're working on. We have a 24-unit townhome project that we're working on, completed all.
Real quick, I get it. You got a lot going on for this project. I just need to know that you have a bunch going on. But for something that you got going on, this would be amazing footage.
When you have smaller lots and you're trying to build another 5 properties that we're going to be Borough County at the permitting phase. We are also working on a 39-unit subdivision in South Hillsborough County. And so in this case, there's going to be 3 two-story homes that we're going to be building there. And we have a couple of single-family homes we're also going to be building in Pasco County. So our real estate pipeline has never been as robust as it is now. Now, when it comes to non-real estate development stuff, we're working on an heirs property preservation program, which is new to us, and it's a way of helping. We're working on an heirs. We're working on stuff. We're working on an heirs property preservation program, which is new to us, and it's a way of helping low to moderate income families that own homes, particularly Black and brown communities, from losing generational wealth and losing equity in their homes by not having a will set up, by not having an estate plan set up so that the wealth and the equity that they've built over years can be handed down to future generations. We also are a HUD certified housing, education, and counseling organization. So we do a lot of counseling and homebuyer education. Last year, which is new to us, and it's a way of that we're working on an heirs property preservation program, which is new to us, and it's a way of helping low to moderate income families that own homes, particularly Black and brown communities, from losing generational wealth and losing equity in their homes by not having a will set up, by not having a state an estate plan set up so that the wealth and on an heirs property preservation program. Was created in 2025, 151. That was a record for us. Back in 2021, that number was only one, so 25. Back in 2021, that number was only one. So we went from the last to the first in a matter of 4.5 years. We have the most new homeowners created in 20. I think that's a record for the state of Florida. Of all of the neighborhoods here, we helped 151 new families. Housing, education, and counseling organization. So we do a lot of counseling and homebuyer education. Last year, we helped 151 new families become counseling organization. So we do a lot of counseling and homebuyer education and counseling organization. We do a lot of counseling and homebuyer education. Last year, we helped 151 new families become homeowners, and that's a record for us. I think that's a record for the state of Florida. Of all of the neighborhoods organizations in the state of Florida, we have the most new homeowners created in 2025, 151. That was a record for us. Back in 2021, that number was only one. So we went from the last to the first in a matter of 4.5 years. So I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah.
Why do you feel like that's important?
Well, the reason why that's important is because that's 151 people that were previously renters. So, if you just take the Tampa Bay region alone and you create 151 new homeowners in that region, that's 151 new people that are families that now have control, a little bit more control over their monthly expenses. They have stable housing costs. Their housing costs are not going to continue to increase like rent does every year. They can establish roots in their communities. They can get involved in civil engagement. And it's very important in the stabilization of a family. Very important in the stabilization of children as they're growing up, to be able to be in an environment where they know who their friends are, they know who their neighbors are, and they're around those people for many years. So it creates that sense of a village and a community.
Talk about neighborhood.
And they're around those people for many years. So it creates that sense of a village, and so it creates that sense of a village and a community.
Talk about neighborhoods. You're a part of neighborhoods. How have they helped you?
I would say that being a neighborhood organization is like having a superpower. Given the choice, a neighborhood organization. I would say that being a neighborhood organization is like having a superpower. I would say that being a neighborhood organization is like having a superpower. Given the choice of running an organization that is a neighborhood organization and one that's not, I will always choose a neighborhood organization over the one that isn't. Being a part of NeighborWorks allows us to be able to build capacity. It allows us to be able to save time and expedite the work that we do, expedite the impact that we have in the community because of the connections with NeighborWorks, because of the capacity building efforts, the education, the training, and the willingness of other NeighborWorks organizations to share information with everyone else. And then being part of a collaborative, like a state collaborative, like we are here in Florida, is there are issues and challenges that are particular to our state that someone in another state may not understand. So being part of a collaborative, we talk about what some of those issues are and how we can address them as a collaborative because we're all impacted by those things.
All right. Frank, you killed this entire part. And I gotta figure out what that means in the grand scheme of things.
Running an organization that is a NeighborWorks organization and one that's not, I will always choose a NeighborWorks to build capacity. It allows us to be able to save time and expedite the work that we do, expedite the, it allows, part of NeighborWorks allows us to be able to build capacity. It allows us to be able to save time and expedite the work that we do, expedite the impact that we have in the community because of the connections with NeighborWorks, because of the willingness of other neighborhoods. Part of a collaborative, like a state collaborative, like we are here in Florida, is there are issues and challenges that are particular to our state that someone in another state may not understand. So being part of a collaborative, we talk about what some of those issues are. And then American, first 450 years old. Yeah. I would say that homeownership has a lot to do with how America is shaped. When you have, America has always been built on a sense of ownership and pride and rights, a bundle of rights. And being able to own a home, being able to own an attainable home, gives a family a sense of empowerment. It's an opportunity for a family to build some wealth in this world. I would say that homeownership has a lot to do with how America is shaped. When you have, America has always been built on a sense of ownership and pride and rights, a bundle of rights. And being able to own a home, being able to own an attainable home, gives a family a sense of empowerment. It's an opportunity for a family to build some wealth in this world.
It's something in there, bro.
Housing, let me go back, because I know this administration doesn't like affordable housing. So, on rights, community. And so while we celebrate America 250, that's great, and that's wonderful, but we must still continue to make strides towards making sure that families today still have attainable housing. It was a lot more attainable families today towards making sure that people continue to make strides. That's great, and that's wonderful, but we must still wonderful, but we must still continue to make strides towards making sure that families today still have attainable housing. It was a lot more attainable when I was younger than, for example, my children. It was a lot more attainable housing.
That's definite.
It would be for my children. It's taking more of their income to afford a median sale price home in the a home. If you look at the Alice report that's generated by United Way, Alice report estimates that a family needs well over $100,000 to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment in this area. That's even, when you talk about a single-family home, that number increases. So again, the work that we do helps those families, and we know that the median family income is not 6 figures, so it helps those families that are below be able to afford an attainable home in this area.
What is the partnerships and systems that has helped you guys
Yeah.
do what you will?
Yeah, the success that we've had, in particular, the success that Tampa Bay NHS has had over the last 4 years, could not have been possible without strategic partnerships with municipalities in this area. So, the success that we've had,
Give me a second. All right. Let me lock in because I was about to get distracted again.
their income to afford a median sale price home in the United States. A family needs, Alice report estimates that a family needs well over $100,000 to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment in this area. That's dollars to be able to, well over $100,000. Alice report estimates, Alice report that's generated by United Way, if you look at the Alice report, to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment in this area. That's even, when you talk about a single-family home, that number increases. So again, the work that we do helps those families, and we know that the median family income is not 6 figures, so it helps those families that are below be able to afford an attainable home in this area. Who helps those families who aren't making 6 figures be able to still afford a home. And for example, my children. And so the work that we do helps those families who aren't making 6 figures be able to still afford a home. So the work that we do.
Frank, you snapped, my boy.
Increases. So it's not 6 figures. So it helps home in this area. And in particular, the success that Tampa Bay NHS has had over the last 4 years could not have been possible without strategic partnerships with municipalities in this area. So municipalities get funding at the federal level to use for attainable housing, for creating new homeowners. Municipalities get funding at the federal level to use for attainable housing, for creating new homeowners. And so we partner with municipalities to say, you have this funding that you have to use for this purpose. Our mission is this purpose. Let's work together and let us help you spend that money, and let us help you get families into homes. Let us help you create new homeowners. Municipalities don't do that work themselves. We're the muscle. We're the boots on the ground that do that work. Without that money from them, what we do would not be possible. And the success that we've had over the last 4 years would not have been possible. Partnerships are, at least for me, this is my opinion, partnerships are, part of the name of the game is, this is not a solo sport. The work we do is not a solo sport. It's a team activity. And you have to have partnerships, collaboration, and a team that all are aligned in the same direction. Without that, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to have created 151 new homeowners in 2025. It's partnering with the municipalities, it's partnering with the banks, it's partnering with the realtors, it's partnering with everyone. Yeah.
But quick question, specifically what partners and
Municipalities.
have you worked with?
So a lot of our partners include City of Clearwater, Pinellas County, City of Largo, the City of St. Pete, the City of Tampa, Pasco County, Newport Richey, and we also collaborate and work a lot with many of our banking partners in this area, Third Federal, Bank of Bank. There's just so many partners that I would almost need a cheat sheet to tell you, who all those bank partners are, but we work with just about all. Yeah, our organization is mainly about getting people out of poverty, getting families out of poverty, helping them get into their first home or an attainable home, because we are also building affordable rentals. That is something new that we weren't doing years ago, but it is something that we're going to do now or continuing to do now, because not everyone wants the responsibility of a homeowner, and not
Yo.
everybody should be a homeowner. I know that's not a very popular thing to say, but not everyone should be a homeowner. Somebody who is disabled and doesn't have the resources to be able to maintain a yard or maintain a home, perhaps, and doesn't have the support around them, perhaps shouldn't own a home. So, but they should have an attainable home that they could rent, where they're not having to decide whether to pay rent or medication or groceries or something else. So where they're not have the support around them, perhaps shouldn't own a home. So, but they should have an attainable home that they could rent, where they're not having to decide. Yeah, our getting families out of poverty, helping them get into their first home or an attainable home, because we are also building affordable rentals. That is something new that we weren't doing years ago, but it is something that we're going to do now or continuing to do now, because not everyone wants the responsibility. Not everyone continuing to do now, because not everyone wants the responsibility of a homeowner, and not everybody should be a homeowner. I know that's not a very popular thing to say, but not and responsibility of a homeowner thing to say, but who doesn't have the resources to be able to maintain a yard or maintain a home, perhaps, and they should have an attainable home that they could rent, where they're not home that they could have an should be in they should be they wants the responsibility of a homeowner, and not everybody should be a homeowner. I know that's not a very popular thing to say, but they should have an attainable home that they could rent, where they're not having to decide whether to pay rent or medication or groceries or, something else. So, I forget where I was going with that.
Yeah. So,
We help people with their credit. We help them fix their credit. We help people that are going into default with their mortgage. So not only helping them get into a home, but also helping them keep the home and sustain home ownership. We help with owner-occupied rehab grants, them up and not a handout to, and help lift them up and not a handout. So we show people, we educate them so that they can take that and continue to move forward in life, and also to, show others and teach their family members about financial literacy, about home ownership, about, those things that are important. And not a handout, So it's all about helping people and giving them a hand as well. So it's all about helping people and giving them a hand and help lift them up and not a handout. So we show people, we educate them so that they can take that and continue. So not only helping them get into a home, but also helping them keep the home and sustain home ownership with their credit. We help them fix their credit. We help people that are going into default with their mortgage. So not only helping them get into a home, but also not only helping them get into a home, but mortgage. So not only helping them get into a home, but also helping them keep the home and sustain home ownership. We help with owner-occupied rehab grants as well. So it's all about helping people and giving them a hand and help lift them up and so over the years we've done some aspects of it. The building itself.
nice. So you talked about Harris property. You talked about credit repair.
Square footage is right around 900. We have homes that they can move in here, they can rise the ranks, and they can increase their income, and then decide, you know what, or it can be used as a home, or this is an attainable home just by looking at the finishes. And grow from and act couldn't control. And the doctors had to. So they didn't own anything when they came here. My dad, I'm doing, I've been on the news, I've been interviewed, opportunities that we have in life to be.
In terms of office.
9 houses in South Hillsborough, in an area called Waimama, that
All right, let me duplicate this. Hold on, let me get this project, Tampa Bay project, duplicate, sequence. Make into a subsequence. Boom. Alright, let me mark the gaps. Alright, so let me kill the gaps right now. Boom. You go to sequence, close gaps. That'll put everything together. He did really good on his interview, so that's 4 minutes of interview. Right there, boom. Tampa Bay. Neighborhood Housing Services, NHS. Tampa Bay Neighborhood Housing Services, yeah, that's it. Interview. All right. So I'm gonna copy and paste that into the mini doc. No, I'm not gonna do that.
My name is Frank Cornier. I'm the president and CEO of Tampa Bay Neighborhood Housing Services.
Frank, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even know
It's
your
us experimenting. This is the first one that we're doing. We know that there's a demand. We know that when it comes to affordable rentals, for example, 2-bedroom units are